We're back, baby. We're back. Let's go. Seems like everything's stable. That's good now on X, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, Rumble, Kick. What are we missing? I'll have to add some more. If I'm missing anything, let me know. Maybe we can go to all of them. We're back, baby. It's Friday. And Bitcoin is still sideways. Pay attention to the chart over the last, like 20 minutes. Had a pretty crazy wick. We haven't seen this on Coinbase in a while. And what's interesting is actually it didn't happen on most other exchanges. Now, it did lead us into basically in that wick. We're almost to the bottom of it. While it wasn't structure breaking or something to panic about, it was a 3% move over the course of like... The reason I point this out is because everything else is pretty boring right now. But hey, we haven't seen this in a while on Coinbase. And what I assume this is something we used to see all the time. Basically a fat finger. Called it a fat finger, when a big account would just accidentally market sell, or maybe went to put a limit sell or something and hit market. I don't know. But this was over the course of 1 second. So it's pretty safe to assume this was mostly from a singular order. And then, stop losses hit, algorithms jumped in. But a 3% move in literally 1 second. These are singular second candles. And within 1 extra second, price had already moved back up 1.8%, about half the way, and returned almost to where it started. And unfortunately, nope, now we need to go to the hour. And unfortunately, here it is, maybe. Filling it back in. So moving back down, not great. Not a wonderful way to start Friday, but volatility does seem to be brewing up here a little bit. We're about to wrap up the first week of December. And it's gone about as we expected. There's been less selling, less negative, less downside, but what it's expected. We saw 93.3 hit, and price kind of just sunk away from it. Going back to the BART chart. The old BART chart, a lot of you guys speculated that we would have a third BART, and that might be here. That might be what's happening. We haven't quite seen the follow through, but that wick on Coinbase definitely giving Bartish signals here. Coming on down. I, for one, am sick of seeing Bart Simpson. Stop it. Get off my charts. I just want to go up. I just want to moon. I just want to go. In other meme-ish shrugging, is Bitcoin in a bear market shrugging chart? Is now the exact same, but he's just either wearing long sleeves, like way too long, way too big of a shirt, or maybe he has like Freddy Krueger claws. Somebody said that on X. I thought that was funny. Freddy Krueger. Yeah, coming on out. Really just nothing has happened. We could be setting up for another downside move. Basically, we'd be looking again for another higher low here. Maybe that's what we're getting. Yeah, that's what it looks like we're getting, perhaps. It is Friday. We have weekend trading, and then we start off our second week here. Quite interesting, quite spicy. Before we get into everything, I'll do some analysis, less memes, more analysis before we get into this, guys. Wherever you are joining us from, whether it is YouTube, TikTok, what's up, guys, on YouTube? TikTok over here, people jumping in. No chatters, though. Start chatting. X, Rumble, Kick, whatever I said. No matter where you are, please engage with the live stream today. Like it, share it, subscribe, follow, whatever. The more engagement live streams get, the more the algorithm favors them while they're live. So it does something. It's not placebo. Hitting that like button, saying hello in chat, it actually matters. I like to start off the streams by saying what we are. We are a community of traders. I have been in crypto for 8 years. I have been live streaming on YouTube for almost 7 now. We've been through bull markets and bear markets together. No matter what happens into the end of the year, over next year, whatever, in years beyond, we'll be here. Rain, what is it? Hell or high water, we'll be here. What we offer is, unfortunately, I don't know the future. I don't have a crystal ball. My tarot cards don't work. And astrology, something else. Astrology, it doesn't hit that well. Anyway, but what I do and what we try to do here is emotionless analysis, and we try to find edges based on what we see on the chart. Trading is not an exact science. It is much like professional gambling. Nobody wins 100% of the time. Yet yet people still consistently win the World Series of Poker, and it's not because they get the best cards, it's because they know how to play the hands they're dealt. They know when to fold, they know when to go, and I think that's the best analogy for trading, is knowing when to bet and when not to bet, and trying to find just statistical edges and leaning into them. That's the best we can do here. I'm not the best trader in the world, though I am a profitable trader over the years, but I try my best. I'm not always right. I get it wrong, so please don't take anything I say as financial advice. Don't blindly copy what I do. What is best is if you can take my analysis, maybe find a common ground, find middle ground. When it agrees or disagrees, use that to your advantage, and that's all we can really do over here. You can join us over at youtube.com/TomCrown. That's the main stream. Join wherever you are. Stay there. Eternal G is over on Twitch, holding it down. No one's really saying anything on TikTok. It makes me think TikTok isn't real people. Are you real people over there? I don't know. That's okay. You might be. You might be AI. Yeah, that's a good way to start. It's a good jump into it. It's like I said, it's Friday. We're just probably gonna chill. I don't know, listen to some music. There isn't going to be the most analysis because nothing's really happened. We can go over what we've been looking for the last weeks at this point. The last weeks. Yes. I'll update you on the live trades I've taken and a few others that I've set up here. 93.3. That short is now cooking. We're cooking there. We planned this out. We plotted this out. I don't even know how far in advance, but we executed. This is really not updated. There's really not too much new here, except for 93.3 filled once this updates. Any minute now. Okay, or not. It filled. It's in profit. Not much to say there. Feeling about the same as I did when I placed the limit sell order, and when it filled for a minute there, I thought it was going to get nuked, but it didn't. Seems like we're fine. The next limit sells or limit orders I'm looking at as a hedge. Remember, I'm not bearish. I'm just looking to play statistics, play where I think the chart becomes the most vulnerable. That'd be about 106K and potentially close along at 110. I don't know. I might change that up. But these have filled. Our long from 84 is looking good. Moved the stop up on that. The short is cooking, and what's, I guess, not surprising. We had 93.3 exactly at the yearly open. That is its significance. We were betting on essentially resistance there, potential reversal, but at minimum, yearly candle turned from green to red. I'm sure a crazy amount of stop losses were hit, and now that previous support flipped to resistance. People who got into positions at that price, saw it go through, are now looking to jump out at a loss or at break even, wherever they're at, as it gets. Potentially, you could look for a scalp at like 90.3. I think I added somewhere a tiny position on some exchange, but probably a better bet down at 86.8. If this plays out bearishly, I would assume we see another higher low, probably around that 86.8 into a higher high, and what we can build like a momentum leg that breaks to the downside, low 74, 76. Could be like a momentum leg or channel, could also be a rising wedge. Kind of a bearish pattern almost no matter what. I think we get a confirmation that we're looking for higher on any close above 93.3. I have to look at the week. At the week, it would look good too. That was the weekly open, 90.3. Probably should have looked for a short there instead of long. Either way. Yeah, confirmation, I'd say looking for the 100K area above 93.3. We're not there. We have weekend trading to go. CME remains unchanged. No changes on the CME chart. Cool. Good. I don't want CME. I'm so sick of these CME gaps. Just stop it. We do have one down at 85.7. Upwards of 86.5. Remember, if these prices hit over the weekend, they will not fill the CME gap. CME gaps are created because it 24/7. It shuts down over the weekend. It closes. I want to say YouTube is messing up hard, says some people. Closes in like 6 hours, opens again on Sunday. And that's what creates the gap here. Stream health says it's healthy for me. Is it Let me, is it choppy? Is it droppy? You're getting kicked every 30 seconds. Oh, that's crappy. Fine overall, streamed lag, choppy. There isn't much I can do about it. Especially while we're live. Let me see. Close some tabs that might help. Thank you for the heart drilling funny. What's up, bro? Choppy. It's weird though, because on my side it doesn't say anything about that. It doesn't say we've dropped frames. It just says it's steady. But I mean, you guys know. You know better than I do. You're on the other side of this. Tabs. You close like all these exchange tabs and stuff. Maybe this will help. YouTube says that we're nice and stable. We have 200 concurrent viewers on YouTube, which would lead me to believe we got some problems over there. Yeah. Oh well. I guess let's pray it gets better. Let's pray it evens out. Cloudflare and AWS at this point, man. What is going on in the world, right? Do you guys remember how infrequently like Amazon Web Services, it looks like Cloudflare did go down earlier today, but do you remember it used to happen? It was like an anomaly. It's like, oh wow, that's crazy. It went down, or that's big. Wonder what happened, right? Something big happened. It's becoming more and more. It's like every week now. Didn't it already go down earlier this week? It's just, what's happening here? Did we replace humans with AI and now we just have a shitty internet? That kind of seems like it. Does look like there's some major outages kind of across the board. Poor Roblox. Roblox was down. I don't see YouTube on here. Did I miss it? YouTube, there it is. Nah, not really. Who knows? Who knows? Probably it's Cloudflare related. Likely. We're going to push through. If anybody else is out there on different platforms, maybe you weigh in. Anyone on TikTok? Has the stream been steady? Has it been choppy? If you weigh in, that might help. We only have 2 likes on TikTok, meaning only 2 people tapped the screen twice. That's sad. What about on Twitch? Now somebody over on Twitch talking. What's up, Diana K? Is what it is. If it's really bad, we'll just restart it, I suppose. Windows on issues all week. Yep. You think it's getting better? All right, let's not jinx it. Let's just pray. We're gonna pray. Poop. Total crypto market cap back to red. Back to a red 0.29%. Need to see this get up into the end of the year, man. Need to see total crypto market cap. I mean, like at least close green. It is an interesting thought, though. I don't know. It's hopium, but it's an interesting thought that our bear markets have always been like one red yearly candle. What if we close red and that's the bear market? The bear market then would be behind us. It's a hard sell. I'm gonna sneeze. Maybe not. I feel like when I say I'm gonna sneeze, I stop. That'd be a hard sell, but it would be welcomed, right? It's just so strange to see these candles be red again for the year. Like this is the 4th year in the cycle. We're supposed to get 3 greens in a row. We only got 2. I haven't lost hope that we'll have an all-time high this year. Still haven't lost hope, but this does, the longer this stays down, this is just looking uglier and uglier, right? This is just like a weak bounce up. And what I don't like about it, what I don't like about current price action is this. Now when we zoom in, I typically like this pattern, higher lows with kind of a flat top. That could be building here. Typically I like that setup. But what I don't love about this is your low we've had during this bull market has been lower lows that eventually we see basically a seller capitulation or some kind of buying impulse that brings us to all-time high. But it was marked by 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4 lower lows, wick lows after rejections from lower highs. This one, I guess it depends how you look at it. You might be able to say that. I think that's kind of fitting it in. Only really has this singular point, and now we're kind of doing this weak bounce up. We haven't seen many reversals recently before. Same thing with these lower lows and lower highs, the downtrend that eventually, right, just like wicks up and begins moving up again. We just haven't seen much like this. Almost every low has looked different. Doesn't make me feel comfortable. Not digging it. Not a lot of change here on anything, especially on the frame. That candle's still open. Not going to have changes. Liquidity rests above us. I'm going to look to sweep it. Wow, that candle got ugly. Got real ugly. Dumpity dump. What happened to the tunes? I turned off the tunes because you guys said the stream was glitching out, or stream keeps loading again. Weird. That is very weird. I don't know what it is. It might have to do with YouTube's new feature. Yeah, I see we're struggling to keep viewers on YouTube. I can see you guys getting kicked, honestly, in this, like, in this graph. Can't really see it, whatever. I can see it. Yeah, right here. Above me. Stop it. There you go. Yeah, I can see that. Who knows, man? It might be this new feature. I've been trying it out. It's like YouTube will let us do a vertical stream and a horizontal stream at the same time. It could be related, but we didn't do this Wednesday, and we also had some issues. I think it's just the internet. I think the internet's having problems overall. Maybe specifically mine, unfortunately. We're going to do our best. Watchable, we'll just close it. X is lagging, but it doesn't drop. X is doing it too. That's so strange, though. Because I don't know. This is just how we do. Maybe it's because Bitcoin's about to shit the bed and they don't want you to be here. They don't want you to see it. They want us to be offline. God, this looks so bad. Since that wick on Coinbase, only red. Just down. Just red. If we break 88.3, I have a feeling we dump more. I honestly thought that wick would hold. Hasn't broken yet. 86.5, 835. It's good now. Don't jinx it. Knock on wood. All right, hopefully. Yeah, well, this long I posted is cooked. Might as well just like cook it up. This was the weekly open. Now I think you can look at it the other way. Can definitely look for a short at 90.3. I'm probably not going to take it, but now that that you're trading underneath it, if we see a bounce, we could find resistance. Maybe look for 86.8. It's not a bad play. It's over. Here we go. All right, we broke the low. It wouldn't be Bitcoin this year if it wasn't dumping. There's the alert. 83.3. We're still well above our lows from this month, from last month. I don't even remember at this point, from November. But it's definitely not a great look here for short-term price action. That wick now totally filled on Coinbase. We've traded below in this 1 minute candle, probably looking for continuation to the downside. Bart Simpson calling. This kid. The hell. Get him out. The triple Barto, man. I thought you guys were going to be wrong about that. Shouldn't have doubted. So on market sell 139, probably. I assumed it was a fat finger, and what's weird, so you can see volume definitely pumped up on that. So pretty characteristic of like a fat finger order. I didn't check every exchange, but all of my perp exchanges, I didn't see this candle happen. I didn't see this price action. And what's also weird is in the history of me watching, especially Coinbase Spot, when we used to see this kind of price action pretty regularly, we almost always would see price reverse. Like you'd see these big wicks down, these fat finger orders, and price would go the other way. Or up, obviously, in the other direction when you'd see fat finger orders that blasted through all of the sells and charts like tripled in a second, they would come right back down and usually then trend down. Unusual, or I guess maybe just part of how crypto is now. We see this big sell order. What is on my face? Big sell order and then freaking bleeds down. All right. Lame. Yeah, it is weird to see it on Coinbase. It used to be, like when I started crypto, we'd see it a lot on Coinbase. But over the years, it's become less and less common, and to the point where it almost never happens now. We almost never see a kind of volatile move on Coinbase that isn't on every exchange. This is unusual. What's up, 𝐂𝐴𝐲 Followed over on TikTok. It's the sleeves, I know. I didn't go to the gym today. I'm only sleeveless in front of you guys when I go to the gym, like, because I'm wearing my gym stuff. And then I come home and I'm like, I'm lazy. At BTC, pop over to the Ethereums. 33.3 seemed like granted when we were looking at this Wednesday. BTC is looking better. I know that's what you commented about. USD come down with the rest of the market. Man, it looked so primed for 3,300 back on Wednesday, and it just stopped. 32 coming back. 29.27. Ethereum versus Bitcoin did the thing that I have been complaining about, or was complaining about Wednesday, when it definitely looked weaker. Well, Wednesday actually was putting in some kind of highs, but looked weaker in this sense. 1 second. Why? You should be in the back. So there we go. Ethereum versus Bitcoin. I have been looking at this long, from 0.33 forever. This trade was placed, honestly, I want to say early or mid-August of this year. It was placed when Ethereum versus Bitcoin was pumping and people were ridiculous numbers, right? They were looking, I don't know, like people were talking about the Ethereum flipping and shit. We placed this order and price, what do you know, it came trickling back down over time. It looked really solid in October when we had the bounce there. I was feeling pretty confident that we'd see a return to 0.05 rather quickly, but that just didn't happen. Ethereum has found sellers in this pair against Bitcoin very consistently, to the point where before December, this was looking incredibly weak. We were finding buyers at a flat horizontal at a singular number, a support being tested over and over and over again, while our highs continued to fail. We were beginning to get signals of reversal, further dumpage. On Wednesday, we looked at this, and it was basically an equal high. We had seen a nice rally. Things were looking better than they had, but it wasn't quite convincing yet. And we said, what we really want to see is November's highs down here retaken highs to begin an uptrend, higher highs and higher lows. That actually did happen. Thursday, we did see it move slightly higher, and what's kind of cool here as well, and I think builds confidence, confluence, whatever, is the downtrend here was closed above. Not only did we get high from the structure, we got a close above the trend line. So this is a good way for Ethereum versus BTC to begin to climb back up. To get a chance at 0.33 again. It's currently at 0.34. It's about a 15%, maybe 15%. No, 2%. I am tired, I guess. 2% downside to that entry. I think you can still get it a little cheaper, but this is looking better. It has by all means broken what I was worried about. It doesn't mean it can't fall back in and be bearish, right? And still play out that way. But for the most part, it has removed itself from this imminent threat. What I'm going to be looking for here is probably a test of 0.33. I think at this point, what we can do with this structure break is change our invalidation and say, okay, we have a higher high. We could look at that same entry. Of course, you can change this up. You could even probably more intelligently look down here. But look for the entry with our stop below that horizontal support. If it gets tested again, we really don't want to be in this trade or back into that pattern. But I think what we can do with this recent close is tighten up the trade a little bit, move our stop loss up a little bit, and you can be a different trade. You can still aim for that 0.55, maybe even make it some kind of scalp with a lower RR. Ethereum is looking better. We're definitely going to keep an eye on it. Close watch. Let me put a little range there. Perfect. Especially over the weekend. This is a good start. Finally catching some bids. Maybe you go, then you scroll over to the week and it's like, oh, maybe you're still underneath it. Let's check this at the weekly close. On Sunday night, I think Ethereum Bitcoin's gonna be a great chart to check out, see where that closes, how it looks on the week, and maybe there's gonna be a little more clarity there. Not bad. A little modification, ZEC. Nobody asked about it, maybe they did, but ZEC, Zcash, not looking hot. Not looking hot. Fell right through our support, right through our long entry. Now price has bounced slightly and returned to that previous support. 393, call it $400 somewhere. It's a very small range. I think if you're feeling bearish, it wouldn't be out of the question. I think a short can be taken from 393. You can see I have it placed here. Basically targeting down in this zone, this fair value gap. It's a big range, 200 to 291. It's a massive range, but you can see resistance was found here on the way up. ZEC broke out, and now that resistance could be looking to be tested as support. I think that this trade makes sense. It is a little bearish, a little too bearish for my taste, but if you think the rally's over, I think that's solid. Tiny little bounce, only 30. It's actually 30%, which is insane. These moves from the low on Wednesday to the high today, 34%. It's actually pretty solid. It's pretty solid for a short. Actually, I kind of like that trade. Maybe I'll take it if it returns to there. I'll put an alert for that. What else are we looking at today? Silver. What are we looking at, boys? What are we looking at? What's up, Zane80? All these TikTok people joining. They don't say hello. It's very rude. QT is supposedly done. They are done continuing QT. QT still has to unwind. That'll take a while. Take some time. And QT ending doesn't mean quantitative easing begins. It doesn't work like that. It's not like an on-off switch, right? QT ending, of course, is the precursor to quantitative easing beginning, but it doesn't immediately start. Basically, you can think of it as the Fed markets is quantitative tightening. Quantitative easing is putting that liquidity in. And so what they're doing is they're just stopped taking liquidity out. They're no longer removing it from markets, but they aren't putting it back in yet. And at least in my trading career, I think it's only happened once, maybe twice, because I'm not a boomer. I've been around that long. Easing has only begun basically with a crisis. Not like COVID in 2020. Quantitative tightening had ended in about 2019, but quantitative easing didn't begin until March or February, whatever it was, of 2020. So we don't have that easing in yet that people are praying pumps their bags to the moon, which of course makes sense that easing would be bullish for assets and pretty much everything, inflation. But we're not there. We haven't seen it yet. Might be coming up. We don't know. Might take something bad to happen. Riz and Shrillix. And Shrillix. Headline Bonnaroo. What? No music today? Well, we had music on, man, but I don't know if the stream is still being goofy, but we were having a bunch of issues. I don't know. I didn't know what to do. Now I'm looking up Bonnaroo. I've never been to Bonnaroo. Bonnaroo. I mean, Grizz. I saw Grizz is playing hijinks in Philly at the before the end of the year. Bonnaroo. I didn't know that Bonnaroo was in Tennessee. For some reason, oh, I'm thinking Coachella. It's in Florida. That was in Florida. Grizz. Who else is going that? All right, I'm pulling up Bonnaroo. I'm looking at it. Sorry if you don't care about this. You're only here for trading. Deal with it. Here are the names I know. Obviously Skrillex, and I'll probably miss some. Grizz, The Stroke, Laser, BBNO $. All right, BBNO $. That's me. That's right. That guy does have some beats. Now it's like the smaller names. I don't know those. Rufus de Sol. Rainbow Kitten Surprise. I can't say I know that one, but that's a cool name. Passion Pit. What? Passion Pit? Isn't that from when I was in high school? Passion Pit? Maybe they make new music now. People here only looking for trades, but you gotta deal with it. That's it. Kesha presents. What? Kesha. Okay. Ooh, 𝐿𝐆𝐍. So 𝐿𝐆𝐍 at Lost. Modest Mouse. There's another name from like when I was in high school. That's wild. Son Holo. He was at Lost Lands too. I don't know a lot of these. I thought I would know more names. Certainly I love Skrillex and Grizz. There's some good names, but I would have expected I'd know more. I have to look some up. The stream is still glitchy. You have a Modest Mouse tattoo? Dude, I love Modest Mouse. They're one of my favorite bands. I don't know. I don't know why it's glitchy, man. I don't think there's anything I can do about it. Unfortunately. Turnstile Blackout. What's up, Quicker? I don't know. I feel like I've closed everything, and my side any issues. Like my side of the stream is saying its stream quality is stable and good. There's no drop frames. There's no disconnects. But listen to Shaq. Shaq is legit. I thought my friend was trolling me when he told me that Shaq was a DJ. Yeah, Professor Beans. Hey, Beans. Hey, Booby. Hey, how you feeling? I thought they were trolling when they said Shaq was a DJ. He actually is pretty lit. He's pretty good. He goes, it's like DJ Diesel. That's what he's called. That's why you've never heard of DJ Shaq, maybe. Because his name is Diesel. He's good, though. I'll give it to him. Like, who played basketball at that level to also be talented in other things is like hella impressive. Yeah, okay. Maybe this, so now it's doing this. Nope, it just said no data. I wonder if it just froze. Did it just freeze? Did it come back? Whatever. Look, yeah, this is no data. Dude, it's doing this again. I bet it is this new feature. I wonder why. It's YouTube. It could be YouTube, but people were saying it was also happening on X and other. Who knows? Who knows, man? Short on XRP is looking good. You actually had a re-entry potential there on Wednesday. 196. Honestly, if I had taken this short on XRP, I'd probably close it. Probably close it here. I have a feeling that most of these charts are going to get higher lows, and then they're going to return to their highs here. That's my gut feeling. Cloudflare issue. Yeah, it could be. Cloudflare issue could impact everywhere, not just YouTube, not just X, like everywhere. Yeah. We've got the poll going. Let's see how the polls answer. Close everything. 18% of us OGs of this channel. Cheers. 27% said this is their first time here. That's surprising. That's surprising. Considering, I don't know, we haven't had many subscribers. Really, any subscriber names pop up. If you're new here today, let me know. James Wynn messing up the stream. Oh, no. You're right. Yeah, right, guys. Bitcoin with a little recovery. Our Australian female friend Emerson. How are you doing, Emerson? Suey and Link every day, Ahmad. Every day you want to look at Suey and Link. Well, mostly Link. Have you just recently started looking at Suey also? I pretty much don't even close the Link chart anymore because you always ask. It's a good spot for Link to hold support. If you can hold support here, man, that's a solid dart. Flat top. Resistance. Higher low, higher high. Get that $16. feel like I put this here. Like I put this here, and then I say, okay, long from here. I feel like every time I've done this with Link recently, it just craps through it. I almost like don't want to jinx it doing it. Could see something like this. $2.7 to 1. I do like that though. I like that the flat top has been broken. So if you look at Bitcoin, it looks more like this. A little bit now it's down. Link hasn't really, it has traded below that high, but barely. Could be finding support there at previous resistance. That'd be a cool flip. Be a cool flip there. I think I have Sui pulled up. Sui, even more so. All right. Actually, it looks a lot like Link. That's kind of cool. Looks a lot like Link. Let's try this. So it's the exact same trade. The absolute exact same trade. $5 or 618. Thinking it's maybe the same chart as Link. Sui, you have the low, you tested it. I think it's technically a higher low. Broke through. What are you doing now? Come back, test it as support. Can have a much tighter stop than previous attempts here. All right, the 618. 3.6 to 1. That's still good. 3 to 1. There we are. 3. I'll take that. That's kind of cool. I'm glad I looked at these. I wouldn't have expected them to diverge from Bitcoin so much because, like I said, Bitcoin, if you look at the chart, basically did this. It's now down here. It's not just back to the high. It's like testing resistance as support. Bitcoin pooping the bed here for us. Into Friday. See what I mean? Bitcoin with a similar setup, but this is where Link and Sui are. And likely other altcoin charts. This is where they're at. They broke through and now they're basically just back to this resistance. Hopefully looking for support to reverse. Bitcoin ruining our Friday. Just playing. The internet's ruining our Friday. Volume is kicking up into the close. To the hokey pokey. Damn, the stream's still glitchy. I don't know what's happening today. Pretty chill. Shaq can't DJ even though he can't speak. Well, I'm confused. He can or can't? You shan't take financial advice from an unlicensed YouTuber. I don't give financial advice. But what would the license be? I'm curious what license you're looking for, Chairlift. What license are you looking for? Not. I don't have it. I'm not giving you financial advice. Last week on the last day of QT, system almost broke and the Fed had to send the repo. We'll see. Shit's getting interesting, man. Certainly there's crazy inflation on the horizon, no matter really how this looks. Come May of next year, inflation, wherever it's at now, by once we hit May, I expect it to explode. It's coming. Series 65 for financial advice? I don't know. I'm not getting it. I have seen and talked to financial consultants or whatever they are, people with those licenses, and they have given me terrible advice. Terrible advice. I'm not sure what those licenses do.